Hi everybody, welcome to my review show. I'm playing basketball on this outdoor basketball court. There are a few basketball teams whose mascot is the eagle. The movie we're going to review is all about basketball, which is Space Jam. How did they mix aliens, the Looney Tunes, and basketball together? Let's find out how it all made sense and slam! The story. Let's slam the story first. An evil alien theme park owner named Swackhammer needs a new attraction at his theme park, Moron Mountain. When his gang, the Nerdlucks, heads to Earth to kidnap Bugs Bunny and the Looney Tunes, Bugs challenges them to a basketball game to determine their fate. The aliens agree, but they steal the powers of NBA basketball players, so Bugs gets some help from superstar Michael Jordan. Was this movie good, you ask? It is a very enjoyable movie, featuring probably the most popular cartoon characters ever. It has all the humor of the classic shorts that made us love Bugs, Daffy, and all the rest. Michael Jordan wasn't that bad in this movie, considering that he is not a professional actor. The animation. It's time to go behind the scenes of the live action mixed with animation. The concept for this movie originated from a series of highly popular live action / animated science fiction sports comedy Nike commercial ads for Air Jordan shoes titled Hair Jordan and Aerospace Jordan, where Bugs Bunny and Michael Jordan faced off against Marvin the Martian and his alien henchmen in basketball to stop him from stealing Nike shoes. The scene where Charles the Bulldog runs and jumps on Michael and starts licking him happily, the dog ran from A to B when cued by his trainer. A fake dog was used for the shot of the dog leaping into the air. When the dog is seen licking the actor's face, the trainer had applied juice to the area. Many of the shots in the film involving the bulldog were shot before a blue screen and inserted in post-production along with the sound effects. The Union Hall in which the Looney Tunes characters meet is entitled Union Hall 839, a reference to the actual Hollywood Animation Guild, which is Union Local 839. When Michael first arrives in Looney Tune Town and is talking with the characters, there is a storefront sign on one of the background buildings that says CJ's Toys, a nod to the famous Warner Brothers director / animator Chuck Jones, who created many of the classic Looney Tunes characters. The scuffed basketball used in the film is a treasured souvenir owned by director Joe Pytka. When held by Michael Jordan, it is real, but whenever it is in flight or controlled by the cartoon characters, it is animated. In order to fill up the audience from a limited selection of characters, one section was made from actual Looney Tunes. The rest were simply replicated over and over and then seated next to each other to create the illusion of a full audience. In the final ultimate basketball sequence, the characters walking around the aisles of the arena are animated in CGI, while most of the other characters are all traditionally animated. Michael Chapman replaced the original director of photography early in the shoot. Due to his experience with sports movies like Raging Bull from 1980 and director Joe Pytka's relative inexperience, the latter would often defer to Chapman's judgment. Ed Jones, who did the special effects for this movie, also did the special effects for Who Framed Roger Rabbit from 1988. He used the same kind of effects, except with this movie, it was done more digitally. To keep Michael Jordan happy while filming, Warner Brothers built him an actual basketball court on the set so he could use it whenever he could on breaks. The characters had different layers of light and shadow on them to give them a three-dimensional effect. This is one of the first movies to be filmed on a virtual studio. The characters. Let's see the members of the character team. Michael Jordan is a former basketball player who played for the Chicago Bulls, who had retired to play baseball and golf, only to get lassoed into Looney Tunes land to help Bugs Bunny and the others beat the Monstars and eventually Mr. Swackhammer. The Looney Tunes, focused more on Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck, are the targets to become Moron Mountain's new attractions and Mr. Swackhammer's slaves. After the Nerdlucks transform into Monstars, they recruit Michael Jordan to help them beat the aliens in order to win back their freedom. Making her debut appearance is Bugs' girlfriend, Lola Bunny. Her impressive basketball skills got her a spot on the Toon Squad, in which the Looney Tunes characters battled the villainous Monstars for their freedom, with help from basketball legend Michael Jordan. Though she had turned down his earlier advances, she saw him in a new light after he heroically saved her from injury by shoving her out of the path of Pound, one of the Monstars, who tried to squash her with a belly flop, getting himself painfully squashed in the process. Then we have Mr. Swackhammer, the evil alien owner of the intergalactic amusement park by the name of Moron Mountain, who seeks to enslave and bring the Looney Tunes cast to his park in order to attract more customers and save his business from failing. Noel Blanc, Mel Blanc's son, was originally booked to provide all of the regular Warner Brothers male cartoons characters' voices, but he and Warner Brothers couldn't agree on a contract, so the studio replaced Blanc with 4 other people to do the 12 male voices instead of Blanc doing them all. The Monstars/Nerdlucks names are Pound, the orange one, Bang, the green one, Knot, the magenta one, Bupkus, the purple one, and Blanco, the blue one. None of their names are mentioned in the film, and neither is the word Nerdluck. However, the word Nerdluck was finally used in a crossover of Teen Titans Go with this movie, which came out 25 years later. The 5 stars who have their talent stolen are Charles Barkley, Larry Johnson, Muggsy Bogues, Patrick Ewing, and Sean Bradley. None of them ever won an NBA championship, largely due to Michael Jordan winning 6 championships with the Bulls, 1991 to 1993 and 1996 to 1998. The voice actors in this film for Taz, Marvin, Sylvester, and Yosemite Sam are the only ones who have never gotten to reprise those respective characters in any future productions to date. Marvin the Martian was likely chosen to be the referee for the Looney Tunes and Monstars game, as he would be neutral, being both a Looney Tune and an alien. Although Michael Jordan's real kids were not in the film, their names, Jeffrey, Marcus, and Jasmine, were used. This film marks the debut of Lola Bunny, Bugs' love interest. The bulldog's name is Charles Barkley. I'm gonna get these comments shot through the basket hoop. The final scene of the game mirrors Michael Jordan's actual first home game back during his 1995 comeback, which was against the Orlando Magic on March 24th. The Magic won that game 106-99 in what was Jordan's first game at the United Center after the Bulls had played in Chicago Stadium earlier in Jordan's career. The Magic, who included Shaquille O'Neal and Penny Hardaway, who met on the set of Blue Chips from 1994, leading to O'Neal encouraging the Magic to draft Hardaway, also beat the Bulls in 6 games in the Eastern Conference semifinals that year. It marks the last playoff series that the Bulls lost with Jordan on their roster. The following year, the Bulls won a record 72 games during the regular season, swept the Magic in the conference finals, and then beat the Seattle Supersonics, now the Oklahoma City Thunder, in 6 games to become NBA champions once again. In real life, Jordan's first game back in the NBA was March 19th against the Indiana Pacers at Market Square Arena, since replaced by Bankers Life Fieldhouse, formerly known as Conseco Fieldhouse, in Indianapolis. Back in the late 1980s, Disney Studios asked Warner Brothers if they could use some of the Looney Tunes characters for the Disney film Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Warner Brothers obliged and were in the belief there was a reciprocal gentleman's agreement, which there was, but under the old Disney management who were long gone by the time this film started production. However, when Warner Brothers started working on this film, they asked Disney to return the favor and let them use a few Disney cartoon characters. Mickey Mouse was originally intended to be the match referee. Disney reneged on the agreement, a move which annoyed but didn't entirely surprise Warner Brothers. This explains some of the not-so-subtle digs at Disney within this film. When Daffy Duck is modeling potential team uniforms for the other Looney Tunes characters, he states that he's partial to purple and gold. This is a nod to the official colors of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, which is the fraternity that Michael Jordan pledged in college. A tradition for some members of Omega Psi Phi is to brand one or more of the Greek letter Omega on their arms or chest. If you look closely during the scene where Michael Jordan is shirtless in his hotel room while on the phone with his family, on the left side of his chest is a branded Omega. In an interview a couple of years after the film's release, longtime Looney Tunes director Chuck Jones was overly critical of the movie. Jones felt it strayed too far from the source material, saying that Bugs would never openly recruit others in his battles. Jones further maintained that the Bugs he worked on would have single-handedly dispatched with the aliens in short order. Jones also took exception with some of the film's dialogue, feeling that some one-liners were inconsistent or inappropriate, relating to the characters who said them. The couple sitting next to the aliens when they steal the talents of Barkley and Ewing are Patricia Keaton and Dan Castellaneta. Daniel Castellaneta is known for voicing characters on The Simpsons, most commonly Homer Simpson. Daniel Michael DeVito, who voices Swackhammer, did the voice of Homer's half-brother Herb Powell on The Simpsons, and both of their names are Daniel. When Bugs drags Michael Jordan down the hole, he says, "Who were you expecting, the Easter Bunny?" This was a play on the Nike ads they were both in, which inspired this movie, when Bugs announced the duo as Hair Jordan and Air Jordan. And Michael says, "Who are you expecting, Elmer Fudd?" This is referenced again in the sequel, Space Jam: A New Legacy, when Blake Austin Griffin appears. Joe Pytka is credited as the film's director. However, many people who worked on the film, mostly the voice actors, have all said Ivan Reitman was the film's actual director and that Joe Pytka was only a director for the animation. Pytka himself said he had gripes with not having total control. For whatever reason, Pytka got the main director's credit, while Reitman is only credited as a producer. When Stanley comes into Michael's hotel room and says, "Come on, Michael, it's game time. Slip on your Hanes, lace up your Nikes, take your Wheaties and your Gatorade, and we'll grab a Big Mac on the way to the ballpark." All those things were products that Michael Jordan had been a spokesman for around that time. Grossing over $230 million worldwide, this is the highest-grossing basketball film of all time, and it is also the highest-grossing Looney Tunes film out of the other 8. This is the first animated film to have been edited for content for TV airings. I'm going to see the sequel when it gets released in the theaters this Friday. Well, I'm going to shoot a few more baskets before I head home. Thanks for watching this video and see you soon. Bye-bye.